Hello, Flosstube. This is Kippy, the academic stitcher, back for my second video. I want to just say thank you so much to all the wonderful, kind comments that I received on my first video. The online stitching and quilting and crafting community is so kind and so inclusive and just so wonderful to be a part of. I can't believe that people actually watched my video and they commented and subscribed. So I just want to say thank you. I enjoy. Many of you also have Flosstube channels, and I watch those as well. And I just love being a part of this online community. So thank you so much. Um, I I hope that I get to continue this. This is lots of fun. I enjoy talking to everyone out there and commenting on your videos and just being a part of the community. It's fun. It's awesome. So thank you. And someone said that they loved my mug. I am a huge Peanuts fan. So I have all kinds of things. Charlie Brown and Snoopy. I want to start off with one previous finish. I showed you my Little Precious Moments one cross stitch that I finished years and years ago, decades ago, last time. This time I have a quilting finish. This is just a pillow. I think it's 18 inch, 16 or 18 inch Tree of Life fall pillow that I finished last year, I believe. And I would love to tell you where I got the pattern, but I'm really not sure. I may have just found it online, just put it together with some scraps and then a scrappy border. I just started pillow making last year, I believe, a year ago in the fall, or this fall, something like that. And this was one of the first ones that I finished. So I love everything fall. Fall is my favorite time of year. So that is just a scrappy one that I finished. Oh, if you want to see the back, I know a lot of quilters like to see the back. There's just some sunflowers on the back, and I made an envelope type backing for this pillow. This is one of the last ones that I finished with an envelope back. I prefer to put zippers in now. As you can see, it kind of gets a little, I don't know, worn looking a little bit, because the chair where this one sits actually gets a lot of sitting. So I just prefer zippers in my pillow backs now. As far as finishes, I had two finishes from Stitchtober. I showed a little bit of those before they were finished last week. This one is The Old Red Barn by Little House Needleworks. See if I can get it in there. The pumpkin that I put it on is from Hobby Lobby. By the way, I just noticed that last week they put all of their fall and their Christmas stuff on 50% off from 40% off. So that's fun. And this one had a black word that said gather on it. And it showed here on each end around the stitch piece. And so I just took a little bit of sandpaper and sanded part of the word off. You can actually, it's hard, it's backwards for me, but you can kind of see right there, there's a little bit of it still showing, but I'm okay with that. You can see it a lot better on camera than you can when it's just sitting in its little place. So I thought this was the perfect piece. I had two or three other possibilities on how I was going to finish this one, but I really liked this one the best. I just mounted it on some sticky board that there's a little bit of batting one layer of batting there as well. This homespun, I believe I got this at Hobby Lobby as well. So anyway, almost everything from Hobby Lobby. I used some of the called for colors, but I changed the windows and the door and the barn to black coffee, I believe, Classic Colorworks. Also, I made all of the yellow in the sunflowers. This is so backwards. The sunflowers and the leaves on the tree. The yellow is Queen Bee, Classic Colorworks. The orange is also a Classic Colorworks, but I don't remember which one I used, but the orange for the pumpkins and the leaves on the tree. I also changed the colors of the clothes on the people to all of its blue. It was just a DMC blue that I had a little bit of. I don't remember what color that was. And I also changed the shovels to a gray, silvery gray. I couldn't wrap my mind around a yellow shovel. I think that's what it was. And it just seemed such an odd color choice that, anyway, I just changed that to silver. So anyway, there is the Old Red Barn by Little House Needleworks. My other finish is from Lizzie Kate, and I don't have the piece. It was going to be way too big. The wooden piece that I found at Michael's, it's actually, I'm not really happy with it, so I may try to find something else. But this is Halloween Rules by Lizzie Kate. Oh, and I just noticed my little ghost is gone. I had a little ghost there. He must have fallen off. So, but there we go. I used the DMC conversion that's in the chart, except for I didn't use 310 black. I used 3371. I just like that it wasn't. It's a little bit more brown than 310. So those of you who have familiar with the DMC colors, I usually, when something calls for black, I'll usually use 3371 instead, and that's what I did here. This homespun also came from Hobby Lobby, and this is mounted on sticky board with a layer of batting, and then also same thing on this one. And you can tell here on the back, the sticky board I bought from Fat Quarter Shop. The largest size, I believe, is 16 by 20. Well, this one is like 26 inches, I believe, so it wasn't big enough. So you can tell I got two pieces here, and I just used some scraps, some strips to bridge across there so that it all stays together. And I did the same thing on this piece. So this one also has a little bridge on it as well. But you can tell it stays really nice. And when I find the final piece I'm going to mount it on, if you're interested, I'll show you that again. But I was really happy with this. So that's Lizzie Kate Halloween Rules. As far as, I'm sorry, one more finish. Last week I told you that I was going to be doing this pattern from It's OM. It's Fat Quarter Shop. I'm not sure if it's OM or not. But the Oh My Gourd pumpkin wall hanging, and I got that finished actually earlier today. I took a day off of work today because it's been so crazy and I have a lot saved up, and so I finished this up today. I'm pretty sure I can't get it all on camera at once, but there you go. There is my little pumpkin wall hanging, and I told you last time that I thought I was going to add a star or something, and I did end up adding the star. You can tell there's no star on the pattern, but I don't know. I love sawtooth stars, and I just thought it needed it, so I added that in there. Again, you can tell, and I just used some oranges and off-whites that I had, and then some scrap yellow for the stars. And the background is shadow. The color is shadow, and it's Cirrus Solids by Cloud9. Cloud9 Cirrus Solids Shadow. I used to get that at Joann's, but Joann's doesn't carry it anymore, which makes me kind of sad because I can't use my coupon. But anyway, so the back, again, I know quilters like to see the back. This is just a scrap of some stuff I got from Joann's a couple of years ago, I think, and I made the little pockets where I'm going to put a dowel rod on the back in order to hang it. So there is my quilting finish for this time. So that's it for finishes. Right now, I am working on a couple of different stitching pieces. The first one is, oh, let's see, do I have the pattern out? Yes. It's Harvest Wishes by Stony Creek. And I'm doing it on, I got this from Fat Quarter Shop, and forgive me, I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's the Plaid Lugana. And so there are my pumpkins. Whoops. Gotta get used to camera being backwards. I'm using the called for orange and the called for brown in the pattern, but I'm going to be changing the leaves and the vine to a green rather than doing that all orange. You can see on the pattern that all the vines and the leaves are all orange. I'm going to change that to green. But this is Sweet Potato by Weeks. And I like it okay. It doesn't have as much variegation as some of the oranges in Classic Colorworks. So if I hadn't purchased, I think I got like 5 or 6 skeins of it in order to do this piece. So if I hadn't already invested that in there, I would have changed it to one that had a little bit more difference. But if you can tell, there's a little bit in there, but not a lot. But I still like it. And I like the variegation to kind of mimic what would be in real life. And so instead of going back and forth across, I'm just doing circles or along the edges of each one of these sections and then filling in so that the colors more go up and down rather than just across. I think that, for me, I like that better. Also, on this piece, it's kind of, I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, you can kind of see there. I did some coffee tea dyeing a couple of days ago. No, it's been longer than that, a week ago or so. And this one was just, here's the other piece. You can kind of tell the difference. This was too clean. I wanted it to have a little bit more character. So I dipped it in for just a few minutes in the coffee tea dye and then took it right back out. So I obviously didn't want to lose the plaid, but I wanted it to have a little bit more character. So Harvest Wishes by Stony Creek. And then my other one, and I think I told you last week, I'm not usually one who can have a bunch of different cross stitch going at once. I like to go until I'm done. So, but for Stitchtober, there were several of them that I wanted, several patterns that I wanted to do. So I made myself, but I'm finding I'm working on Harvest Wishes more. But I'm also working on Playing with Jacks by Cross-Eyed Cricket. I just love the way this one looks. I want to get it done before Thanksgiving. I don't know if I will or not, but I really do like it. And here is the piece so far. I told you last week, rather than Jack's face, the pumpkin face that had the jack-o'-lantern face, I was going to do a pinwheel or a star or something, and since there was already a sawtooth star on there, I decided to do a pinwheel. So I've got a little bit of this one done, but not as much. This piece is also, you can tell on this, is also coffee tea dyed. This was, I believe this was white, Monaco, 28 count, stitching over 2. And I am using, on this one, I'm using the Call for DMC colors. So those are the 2 stitch pieces that I'm working on right now. I'm also working on the 8-carat quilt, quilt along with Fat Quarter Shop. They've already posted all of theirs and it's already finished. I'm a little bit behind. That's nothing unusual, especially on quilt alongs for me. But there are 2 patterns from Triangles on a Roll book that's new from It's So Emma. And I've got the center finished. I'm doing mine in black and white. So if we get it all the way back here, there we go, we can see. I've already got all the other triangles finished. I just need to finish piecing those other blocks. So I really like the black and white. It's really farmhouse looking, which I really enjoy. So working on that. Now, haul. Story. I was gone this past week for a faculty retreat, and I watched another YouTuber, Bluebonnets and Whiskey, Stitcher, and I loved her video. It was great. If you haven't seen her yet, go check her out. But she had been to a little shop in Cleburne, Texas, called Fancy Stitches. And so since that was more or less on my way to the retreat, I stopped in, and it is a wonderful shop. So if you are in the Cleburne area or plan to be in the Cleburne area, stop by Fancy Stitches. I will put a link to their website below. They were so nice, so kind. I enjoyed my time in there so much, and I bought quite a bit of stuff there, and I can't find it anywhere. I have turned my house upside down. I have called the rental car company. I have called the retreat center where we were, and so far it hasn't been found. And it was a bag, and it had, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 new patterns in it. And if I don't get that back, I'm going to be very, very sad. So hopefully the next time that I have a video, a couple of weeks, I will have found that bag and will show you what I picked up at Fancy Stitches in Cleburne. But I do have a few other things. It's actually put together over a couple of weeks, so I didn't get all of this week, promise. I got my floss fix from Fat Quarter Shop. The month of October was orange, and they are, look at those beautiful colors. Oh, I love fall. There are the colors: candied yams, pumpkin harvest, embers, autumn spice, fallen leaves, and chili pepper. Absolutely beautiful floss. I am just recently discovered Fancy Floss and absolutely love it. It's so much fun. It's so beautiful, and Classic Colorworks is great. I also got a few other things recently, and in fact, some of these I may have had before I did the last video and just didn't show them. This is the October House Cottage of the Month by Country Cottage Needleworks. Probably won't get that done before the end of October, but it will be sitting for me waiting for next year. Also, the November Cottage of the Month. That one might get done before Thanksgiving. So we'll see. This one is beautiful. I am a huge fan of Plum Street Samplers. I love everything that I've seen of theirs. I have a copy of Cinnamon Stars that I want to do. In fact, I have kitted. I just haven't started it. But this one is Betsy's Autumn by Plum Street Sampler, and that one is going to be pretty close to Cinnamon Stars, although Cinnamon Stars is kind of the queen, I think. That one I am going to be very proud of when I finally get around to it. Also, hands-on design, Autumn Skies. I have a finish for this already. I actually picked it up. It's a little pumpkin frame I picked up at Hobby Lobby. And then after I'd already picked it up, I believe Priscilla showed that, maybe it was Priscilla, I can't remember for sure. I know she did, or I know that someone at Fat Quarter Shop on their Flosstube, Kimberly, showed the very same frame that I had already picked up. So great minds think alike and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, this one looks like a really fast stitch, and I want to get this done before the end of autumn. And then I've got a couple of Christmas-y charts that I just recently picked up. First one, I love chalk art. I'm not an artist. I can't draw, but I love chalk art. And I picked up these chalkboard ornaments collection 3 from Hands On Design. And I got some 16 count chalkboard Aida that I'm going to be doing these on. I don't necessarily like stitching on Aida, but for something that's not going to be out for a very long time, it's a lot less expensive, or somewhat less expensive, and it's easy to stitch on. So I've got 16 count Aida to do that on. This one I think is so adorable. It's called Sheepy Hollow, and it's, I'm going to put it as close as I dare. It's little sheep, and they're in the shape of a Christmas tree, and I just think that is adorable. So that one I will hopefully be doing before Christmas. That is what I have. I, again, very much appreciate the kind words, the encouragement, and the camaraderie, the community in the online stitching world. Thank you again for watching my video. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate just your heart and your spirit of love and inclusivity. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing, and I hope to be back with you in the next couple of weeks. I think every 2 weeks is probably going to be good for me, unless something miraculous happens and I have lots of extra stitching time, which probably won't happen. Work and life and grandkids and all that kind of stuff. So I hope you all have a wonderful week, and happy stitching.